Hey guys, so for this training video, I just want to talk through launching a new WordPress website using the Elementor Pro page builder and what it can look like for your business and how we can help serve you in creating your new website or um, redesigning your current one. So Elementor is a paid page builder. It is one of the top in the WordPress world. And so it features a lot of functionality. It's drag and drop. It also has backend code that can be fully customized. It's very responsive, has good page speed, all that kind of stuff. And it has a lot of like baked in or built in templates that you can use. But we always like to kind of customize our templates for our clients. We like to look at template developers that have built other more custom looking websites, and then we make them special for each of our clients. And so Elementor is how we do that. So I have a sandbox here that our team uses. So I just wanted to share a little bit more about the lay of the land here. So Elementor is showing up here on the side. So we've got number of options that we can have here under settings. We can set up global fonts and that kind of stuff. We can set up CAPTCHA integrations, Google Maps integrations, MailChimp. All that kind of stuff is part of Elementor. So if you have a map on your page, so like your local business, most of our clients, you put a map there. CAPTCHAs just to prevent spam from your contact form. MailChimp is if you have a MailChimp service for email marketing. This will actually will give you the ability to pull in contact forms or email subscriptions directly into MailChimp. Same thing for ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, ConvertKit, MailerLite, that kind of stuff. Those are all baked in to Elementor. There is the ability to add custom APIs as well. So if you have an email service that you need, we're able to get that integrated for you. The advanced section here, most of this you can leave as default. So we want to enable Google Fonts. We want to swap those when they're loading just for speed purposes. And then these are kind of some experimental features that we kind of leave alone for the most part. Some of these are nice to have for like optimized DOM output, which is good for load time, asset loading, CSS loading, that kind of stuff. So custom fonts, you can load your own custom fonts into Elementor if you want. So if you got the TTF file, you can upload those. You can set up custom icons. So if you've got ICO files that are somewhere else on the web, you want to upload into here for your website, you can do that. Custom codes is a good way to add in tracking codes for Hotjar, for Google Analytics, for Microsoft, that kind of stuff. So role manager, this is by default, but you can have more advanced tools in here if you would like. Tools, so if we want to enable safe mode, regenerate CSS files, so these are basically the styling files. We can do a find and replace URL. We can jump into maintenance mode. So if you have a new website design coming soon, oftentimes when we do these for our clients, we set about a week to put a coming soon landing page with a countdown when it'll go live. We can do that through here. Importing and exporting template kits. So this is where if you're out on like ThemeForest or Envato, you can download and purchase a template kit and you can import that into here. We also offer a number of template kits that we already used, and some of them we built ourselves. So you can import those into your website and start using them. Templates. This is also WordPress Elementor. So this is where those templates would live. You can build pop-ups to show up on your page. Theme builder, this is how you can have each section. So site parts is a header, footer, single post, single page, archive page, search results, that kind of stuff. So you can actually customize what each of these will look like on your website. Landing pages, so you can create new landing pages for marketing campaigns. So these can be specific to what you need. You can have upsells, cross sells, that kind of stuff in there. Kit library. So this is where all of the kind of kits that are included. So these are templates that are included with Elementor Pro, and so we can choose. So we can choose like any one of these and go through it with you. Yeah. So let's do the. Let's see. I don't know. I'll just pick one. Private tutor. And I can actually apply this, and this is basically like the import kit option, except for these are pre-built by Elementor developers. So if you're curious on what they have available, you can actually look at, let's see, where is it? Kits library, right on their website before even purchasing anything. So you can actually see what some of these will look like before you even buy the Pro subscription. Right, so this is imported. So I'm gonna close it here. So what does that mean? It means that those templates are now available in the template library. So we've got header, footer, 404 page, that kind of stuff. So those are actually also in the theme builder. So you can see those are loaded here, and we can actually see what they look like, and we can edit them. So we want to change the header and just edit that. And again, it's just drag and drop. So this is a menu item. So those are actually controlled within WordPress appearances and menus. This here on the end is a button, as you can see here in this navigator. So I can change what type it is. I can change the text. I can update the icon to be whatever I want it to be. I'll change that, update the spacing of the icon, all that kind of stuff. So let's say I wanted it to be, instead of green, I want it to actually be, so it's the text, background color. I want that to be like a blue, like that. Then on hover, it goes to that area, that's fine. So that's a hover mechanism. So whenever you're moving over it, it'll change to this background. You can also do other things with hover, so you can animate it. So if you want it to pulse grow, so it'll animate it for you. A lot of times that is mainly for desktop viewing, because mobile you're not gonna be able to get hover commands on it. So this logo is the site logo, so we can actually see that actually over in our site settings. So if you click on that thing, you'll see global colors, global font, site identity. Here's where our site logo is. So that updates here, and it'll update everywhere where the site logo is. Global colors and fonts. So you can set up colors, system colors for the theme for your website. So if you've got a color palette that you want to stick to, you can add those in primary, secondary text. You can actually add other colors as well. If you have fonts that are specific to your brand, you can load those in here as well. Again, you can upload fonts into that custom fonts section that we looked at earlier, and that'll show up. So when basically those show up when you're in here. So like, let's just pull on the menu, and you're in styles, and you see text color, here's typography. So if you click on this globe icon, this will show where the global fonts are. So these are where you can change the font size, type, that kind of stuff. And then if you want to customize it even further, just for this instance, you can do that using that little pencil icon, and then I'll drop it down. You can also change the size depending on mobile responsiveness, right? So Elementor is very mobile responsive. You can update the size of the font, the color of the font based on mobile or not, just the size of the font, I guess. Color is not. But in terms of spacing and that kind of stuff, that all can be adjusted for mobile as well. So those are global items. Theme style of typography. This is where you can set your H1, H2, H3, that kind of stuff. So you can have those standardized across your site. So as you add those to that, so we're editing the theme, the header. So I'm gonna exit here. I'm not gonna save it. When it comes to pages, when you want to create your pages, so the template kit that we imported brought in a number of pages in here. So we got so here's home draft. So I can actually, if I wanted to preview, I can just see what this looks like. So this is the draft here. Brian's been working on this for his D&D campaign. That's great. I can edit with Elementor, and this actually will allow me to get into the editor. So this is kind of where all the magic happens, right? So on the right hand side, this is the navigator. If this isn't showing, this little button on the bottom left corner will show that. And this is a quick way for you to kind of jump to different sections of the page and have it all laid out. So like if you mistakenly not sure where a section is, you can actually go into the navigator and catch it, or you can use the navigator to quickly drag and drop the positioning of the section. So a page is built up of sections, columns, and elements. So you can create a new section. So just pop into here, create a new section. It can be multiple different columns. You can make it like a newspaper thing, and then you've got different columns here. And then from here, you click on this little 9 box. This will get you the elements you want to add. So I can put an image in the middle here. I can put in a, excuse me, a text editor over here. And then let's say I want to put in a, let's see, maybe a form over here or something. So this is this section that I created. So image, I just basically choose an image anywhere from the media library. I can upload one as well. So I put that in here. By default, it's going to jump into large, but if I want it to be any larger than that, you can change the image size settings. Note that this does not actually change. As you can see, it doesn't change the size of the image on the screen. This just changes the size, the pixelation of the image. So every time you upload an image, it creates all these different versions of the image. And so if you want to have a smaller image, it will get smaller, but it oftentimes will not get larger unless you edit the style around it. So like here's the image here. If you jump into style here, you can adjust the width, and there's where you can get a wider image. So this is a percentage of that column. So I want it to be 75% of that column. And then from there, so let's say like I'm scrolling down here. Here's an image. It's kind of an advanced feature, but I want to transform that as a scrolling effect. So when it scrolls, I want it to, let's see, I want it to kind of rotate as it jumps down. So when I'm scrolling, it's going to rotate. That's kind of a weird function. So I'm going to reset that actually. I think let's just do scale up by 2. And so as I scroll down, it's going to zoom in. So it's kind of neat to have some of those features every once in a while, as long as you're not overwhelming the page with those kind of movements and activity. But those are kind of some advanced things on how to do that. So text editor is pretty straightforward. And edit the text over here. You can edit it in the screen over here. You can set the style over here. So again, these are styles that are set in the global typography, but you can also do custom styles. So you can do different font. So let's say I want to put it in a different font than everything else. Not recommended, but if you wanted to, you could. Can make it a different size. I can make my line height shorter, increase the spacing between the letters, can increase word spacing, that kind of stuff. And if I pop into advanced, I can increase the margin. So if I wanted to make it farther to the right, I can do -20, and that'll pull it farther to the right. So there's -120, so that pulls it more into that other column. As you know, margins are the outside edge, padding is the inside edge. So when you're looking at the difference between margins and padding, you can never go negative. You can only go positive. So if I wanted to do padding on the top, I can do a 50 padding on the top. Let me clear this linked here. So padding on the top, we'll add it here. But it will also, if I put margin on the top, that will do that as well. But margin is one of the only ones that you can actually do negative. So if you wanted to move this outside of its framed element, which sometimes you want to do design element wise, if you wanted to have maybe this changes to a heading instead, and you have it overwhelmed. So like let's let's just delete this. Let's make this a heading. You know, with this heading, and then let's say I want it to kind of overlay this image. So I can actually go into margins and I can do like negative 250 or something. And of course, you want to make sure that it will go above that image. But yeah, so that's how you can kind of play with margins and do that a little bit. Forms are pretty straightforward in Elementor, so you can create a new form, make sure you name it. Typically, you want to name it the page that you put the form on, because whenever you receive a submission or an email for that form, it'll tell you what the page name is, so you know where it came from. So typically by default it has name, email, message. You can add other fields in here, so you can do telephone, URL. You can add a checkbox, a drop-down selection, a radio selection, number. You can have people upload a file, that kind of stuff. You can add a hidden, so you add a hidden field. We call those honeypots, and so then it just doesn't show up for anyone, and it's basically a field that protects against. Oops, let me select it here. It protects against spammers, so it's hidden. It doesn't show up there. Robots are going to fill it out, and if they fill it out, then it's not going to actually send you the form submission. So it's a kind of neat trick for forms that are just built in if you don't want to configure CAPTCHA, which I can talk about configuring CAPTCHA in a different video. Yeah, so that's a form. You can save sections as templates. So let's say this, I really like this heading, image, and form section. I want to put this on a different page. So I can actually right click on this little 6-dot section. I can hit save as template, and I can save this in my template. So library. So what I want to do typically is be more descriptive of what elements are in this section. So I want to say heading with image and form 3-column. So that way when I go back later and I want to add that to another page, I know exactly what I'm looking at. So now if I wanted to, let's say, add that to this page as a new page, just picture that. Here's the little blocks. These are included in Elementor, so you can have different, you can insert these in there, you can insert different pages. But my templates, this is where that was stored and saved. So here's my heading with image and form, 3-column. I can just hit insert and apply, and there it goes again. So I just inserted it again at the bottom of the page, and that's how we can quickly and easily copy sections and move them to different pages of your website. When you're in the page editor, you can also save the whole page as a template. So let's say this is a blog post template, or it's not a blog post, because that would show up as a template builder. But let's say we want to save it as a service page. So we've got multiple services, but we want to save it as a service template page. So we just go here and click on Save Options up here. Click Save as Template and say this is my service page template. And then when I go and create a new page, I can just create it based on that service page template and be 90% of the way there. I just edit some content and publish it. So from there, the other thing that I want to show you is theme builder templates. So theme builder templates are ways that you can make a single page the same for every type of post. So let's say every type of content. So let's say we have we have a blog post template that we want to show for every single blog post that we have out here. So we don't have one today, so I can hit add new under single post. And I can choose, so let me just look at, so here's a blocks here. So this will actually show me some default templates that Elementor has out there for single posts. So I can just insert one of these, apply it, and then I can actually customize this. So let me, so this right here. This is the post excerpt. This is the first 100 characters of the post, 100 words of the post. Here's the featured image for the post, and then here's the post content. So this is what a content where the main body of the post would show up. I can also add on the right hand side. So this is a column here on the right. So we've got more like share buttons. We got more posts, and this will show. I think this is related posts. So I can do under here under metadata. I can choose what. No, under query. Sorry. Query, it'll show me and give me options to show what kind of posts I want to add. So I want to include by tag or by term, that kind of stuff. So I want to choose term. I can choose a category, a tag format, that kind of stuff. Or author, I want to show other posts by this author over here. So that's the way you can do that. And then this is a form submission. So we talked about that earlier. And then below here at the bottom, this is the navigation, post navigation. So we can add, so this will be the next post or whatever. We can also add other elements in here, so you can see on the 9 dots here. You can see other options of what to add. So you can put it, if you wanted to put an author box in, maybe over by the share, like above this, and throw that in there. So that'll show who the author is in a bio. You can put in a progress tracker. So sometimes when you're scrolling on a website, they'll have a bar that goes across the top. That's a progress tracker. So as you're scrolling down, you can know how far you are in the post. That's good for long form. You can add table of contents, so it's good for SEO. Having a way to quick jump to different sections. You can add post content comments in the bottom. So you want to add comments to the post. There are other add-ins that you can get. So if you have related posts add-in, you can add elements in here to identify other types of content towards the bottom, that kind of stuff. So once you're done here, then you can publish this, and it'll ask you, where do you want to display this template? So this is the template for all single posts, excuse me. So I want to hit add condition, and I want to include all posts. Simple as that. If there's a post in there that I don't want to include, I can add another condition, say exclude this specific name post, or I can exclude posts that are in a specific category if I want to have a separate theme template for that. But I'm just going to put it for all single posts. I'm going to save that, and then basically any blog post that gets published on this website will show up with that template layout. So you can do that for posts, you can do that for pages, you can do that for archive, and if you get e-commerce, you can actually do that for single products, you can do that for product archive, and that kind of stuff. So it's very powerful in what you can do, and how you can use the tool to bend it to your will, so to speak. So that's kind of a rundown of Elementor and how we use it for our clients. Stay tuned for more videos on specifically how we connect in e-commerce solutions. So if someone has a point of sale solution, how do we connect that into their WooCommerce store in WordPress? Or how do we install an SEO plugin like Elementor Pro, or other pieces of content that I'm working on right now? So again, this is Adam with the Marketing Clerks. Thanks for watching.